Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here in Dubai. I'm here at the Virtuoso Symposium that's being held this year at this wonderful Atlantis the Royal. And I'm here with Aida Al Busadi. Correct? I got it right. Who is the Associate Vice President Consumer Advocacy for the Dubai Department of Economy and Tourism. And actually, your organization has more names on that, but we're gonna hold it to that one, right?
We do.
Anyway.
But yeah, I think we'll stick to DET.
Okay, so we're going to talk to Aida all about this wonderful. I mean, I've been here several times. I'm lucky, but this was really a wonderful visit. And of course, we're here with Virtuoso, which is really recognizing the fact that Dubai is such a strong player in the tourism market, especially in luxury travel. And we're going to talk to Aida about all that's going on in Dubai and a whole lot more on Insider Travel Report. Well, first of all, it's great to meet you. I've seen you a couple times on stage, and you've done a marvelous job explaining to all the virtuosi about what's going on in Dubai today. Many of whom I was surprised had not been here, right?
Yeah, I was surprised, but I was also really excited because the opportunities are endless in Dubai. So if you haven't been here, this is an opportunity for us to really position Dubai for you to really understand it, get a little bit more in depth, and then come back again as well. And we have a couple of cases from the Virtuoso team who've actually chosen to move and live in Dubai. So.
Well, I'm thinking of that right now myself. I got to tell you, I thought about it a little while, but we'll see what happens later in the year because I think it's a great hub. I always been amazed at how easy it is to get around around the world from Dubai. Now, let's first of all start about your tourism numbers to Dubai. First, how did you do in 23, and how are you doing so far in 24?
We closed 2023 with 17.15 million visitors, which is an 11%. Well, it's a growth obviously from 2022 as well. But if you look at the first quarter of 2024, we actually achieved 5.18 million visitors, which is an 11% growth from the 2023 numbers in the same period of time as well. And then if you look at the distribution of the travelers who've come from various different regions, Western Europe accounts for approximately 20% odd, give or take. GCC and MENA account for about 25%, give or take. And of course, you've got India as one of the core markets. It's the source market as well. So India, and then you've got the APAC region, which also contributes to quite a good, significant contribution to the traveler and tourism numbers. And of course, the Americas accounts for 7% of the overall tourism.
You would hope to grow a bit, right?
We hope to grow, with you and Virtuoso and all our other partners across the region as well.
Now, given sort of the recent events in the Middle East, obviously people are concerned about the Middle East, but they don't understand the region, they know the geography of it. How has that affected your numbers at all, do you think?
Well, I think it's a testament to just looking at the numbers that we just mentioned right now. 17.15 million visitors is quite a big number as well. But safety and security is a number one priority for us as a city as well as a nation. And I think the biggest testament to us as well is being ranked the second most safest country in the world by the World Economic Forum 2 years in a row. So, short answer, no.
And the answer is, that's great. And that stat has been repeated a few times during this conference about how it is such a safe city. And I've always felt it's an amazing city to be in. So you don't feel like, I don't feel you're in the Middle East, but you're not. We always have this. Some Americans don't have a great perception of the Middle East until they come here, and then they realize what they're missing.
And I think that's an opportunity in itself as well, right? It's one of the undiscovered regions, and I think the more you discover the DNA of the Arab culture, the Middle Eastern culture, is all about hospitality. So if we open up our doors to hospitality, it means that you have a length of information, a wealth of information, and learning and experiences across the region. So yes, I think it's the right time for people to want to come and experience what we have to offer, and take away some of the biases as well.
Now, you mentioned it earlier, but how important is it that Virtuoso is holding this symposium here?
It is extremely important. We've obviously had quite a strong relationship with Virtuoso for the past decade, and the fact that the symposium is actually taking place in Dubai right now really solidifies our partnership with the symposium, with the team from Virtuoso as well. And I think it really sheds extra light on the luxury segment that we're obviously trying to target right now. So there is quite a lot of conversations that are happening right now. There's a lot of knowledge exchange that's happening across the board. So absolutely, it is very critical, and there's more work to be done as well, right? So again, if you peel off, the last 10 years, what does the next 10 years look like? And I think it segues very well into our D33 strategy, the Dubai Economic Agenda, which is obviously doubling the economic sector as well. So this fits in really well with some of the activities and the tactics that we're trying to push forward to under that agenda as well.
Now, who is your target customer here for travel and tourism, and who are the people you want to see? I mean, obviously, a lot of people came here for conferences and for business, and then maybe they recognized they could come and stay, and there's amazing resorts, and and we even talk in family travel as well, right?
Yes. So we obviously, now that we are Dubai Economy and Tourism and a big contributor to the D33 strategy as well, the leisure traveler as much as the business traveler are equally important to us as well. What we offer to the leisure traveler, whether it's a solo traveler, whether it's a couple traveling or a family traveling, is a completely different proposition to the business traveler as well. And so different people come to Dubai and they discover, okay, I'm here for travel once, twice, and then decide to come and live and work, in which our strategies and our policies are helping to implement those types of visitors who initially come in as a visitor but then choose to stay here. And then vice versa as well. People who come in from a business perspective but then say, wait a minute, I want to extend the length of stay and not just do a 2-day conference or a 5-day conference, but actually I want to see a little bit more about the city. So the offering is the range is quite big, and the offerings are quite diverse, and so there is something for everybody when you come to Dubai.
Well, you got one of the largest water parks here. If they're family travelers, who are interested in that, it's right actually across the street, basically.
I think one of the most important things that a lot of people also need to understand, that the level of awareness of the city of Dubai, I think we've done a really good job, and the city itself has lended quite, to being well known. If you look at the TripAdvisor numbers, we've ranked number 1 by the reviewers themselves 3 years in a row. It's unprecedented. No other city in the world has done that. So the city does speak for itself. I think what we need to do more is a little bit more in depth. What else do you do in here? Why should you consider it, right? And so the depth of what the Dubai is offering and the diversity of what we do is something that a lot of people, probably don't know about. You've been to Dubai quite a few times, and I asked you if you've been to Hatta, and you said no. So
no, that one is not. I've been actually to major resorts. I was one of the first resorts on the world, which is the island grouping that you're building after the Palm.
Yes.
And that was wonderful. And I've actually been years ago. I went out to Al Maha in the desert, which was amazing. But then you told me about a totally different stuff.
Completely, yeah. So every time you come to Dubai, let's just think of it as a layer to your experiences. So the moment you decide that you want to make that decision to travel, then we should be at those touch points, right? So the consideration is where are we in the consideration period at the traveler's choice, whether it's business or for leisure, and then to actually convert those people to want to become travelers at the end, and then just add onto that experience as well. Let's take Burj Khalifa, the most iconic building that I would say the majority of the world know about, right? But even with Burj Khalifa, before they had first opened, there was just one floor that had opened up as an experience, the 124th. Added to that a few years later, we added the 148th floor, and then post that, the 152nd floor. But if you go at every different level, it's a completely different experience, and that is exactly the ethos that we have in Dubai.
Well, that's the whole thing. You have such iconic buildings here with the Burj Khalifa, and then obviously the original Burj, the Burj Al Arab, and now this one, these are iconic buildings. I mean, you could do an incredible architecture tour around here.
Yes, and you've got the Museum of the Future, you've got the Dubai Frame as well. So all of these really make up the landscape of what we call as the city of Dubai.
And I unfortunately didn't make it over here for the World's Fair, which I was really trying to a few years back, but I didn't make it. But it is really a future. So it has history, it has incredible nature, and of course these amazing buildings and amazing architecture. Now, what is your marketing strategy with the U.S. market, with the North American market?
So what's really interesting is we have a very, it's a 360 marketing degree. I think I'll give you a sneak peek. We do have a big campaign that's coming up directed to the U.S. market. I can't tell you much right now. You'll just have to wait and watch. But we are running a TripAdvisor campaign right now. We recently actually hosted Somebody Feed Phil. I don't know if you've ever watched any of it.
I've heard that, yeah.
You've heard that, and there's an entire episode that's dedicated to the city of Dubai. But whilst he does talk about the gastronomy scene, and that's his ethos, right? He talks about food and beverage. He actually takes you on a journey of the city of Dubai through food, through people. And there was one point that you said that, yes, you have fantastic buildings, you have fantastic, experiences, but the people make up such a beautiful aspect of Dubai. You're talking about 200 different nationalities who've basically retained, who they are, what they have to offer as well. So when you go around the city, and I think I've mentioned this before as well, the city is not a cocktail. It's basically a basket of fruits where everybody is just who they are, and that they have that actually adds to the offering to the city as well. So some of the things that I mentioned earlier, just to add on to the U.S. market in terms of the strategies, we do have a Kids Go Free campaign that's actually launching just this summer. Actually, I think the marketing.
So we talk about family market. That's right dead on.
We are talking about family market as well. TripAdvisor, as I said, good for solo travelers, good for family travels, as well as good for business travel as well. And then we just actually 2 days ago we had the Bad Boys 4 premiere. So it is a city, for these global celebrities to be here. And Will Smith was in town, and Martin Lawrence in town, and they are what we call friends of Dubai. They've been to Dubai before. Will was actually here for, I think, 4 months during COVID as well, and so he's developed this affinity to the city, and they've become natural advocates of the city. And the fact that they've chosen Dubai to be the #1 city for them to do their global premiere is a testament to that as well. And I'm sure you've heard of Hans Zimmer. He does have a U.S. tour as well. So we're hosting Hans in a week or so approximately, for him to come back and do a 2-day concert, follow up from his first 2-day concert that happened last year as well.
And of course, you had some performer named Beyonce here.
Yes, yeah. I know.
Who's that?
I don't know. I think we sent her to the left. No, I'm just kidding. No, Beyonce was really quite a cherry on the top. I mean, the Atlantis Royale was such a beautiful. I think we just really needed to match that global perception that people have of Dubai, and bringing Beyonce here really put us, I think, an additional push on the map. And a lot of people have seen the Atlantis Royale now, and I think the bookings are phenomenal. So even if you look at the booking systems, just in Q1 of this year, you're talking about an 83% occupancy rate of just the hotels all across the board. So it's a testament to the.
Very impressive considering how many properties you have here.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. So yeah, all of these numbers. I mean, these are true testaments of how well the city is doing, and how we're constantly innovating, and how we're constantly restructuring, and really giving people the type of experiences that they need.
Well, actually, I was here when Beyonce was here when the opening of this.
So was I.
But I wasn't here. And I saw our friend Matthew Upchurch, who's the CEO of Virtuoso, was here. And I texted him. I said, Matthew, get me in. He said, I can't. The security is too tight. But I did watch the fireworks from just down the beach.
Yes, I have to say, it was a fantastic show. And you'll see more and more of those coming out from Dubai as well.
Now, you've pretty much, Palm Island is pretty well developed. The first time I was here, it was just an outline, and you had the outline of Atlantis, the original Atlantis, here in Palm Island. But then the rest of it was you could see the palm, but there was nothing else here. And then you were planning the world, and now the world is starting to work well. I mean, what's next? I mean, what this is amazing different attractions as you keep expanding your infrastructure.
So I think one of the most important things that a lot of people also need to understand is we assess the traveler, the visitor, as now, of course, the resident part, and take a look at where the expansiveness and where can we actually cater to the end consumer at the end of the day. So if you're talking about the expansion of the hotels, we talked about the Lana, which has just opened up as well. We're talking about Mars Al Arab, which is opening up towards the end of the year as well. But the airport is also going to expand.
I was going to mention that. I guess I'd forgotten this. Sorry, because you obviously needed a new airport because yours was. The airport here is amazing. I got to tell you, the joke around here was all of us in the U.S. are going to borrow your old airport and move it to one of like L.A. or something instead. But you're building an airport with a capacity for what? It's great.
Yeah, it is actually one of the projects that we're building under the D33 strategy. But to go back to your original question where you had asked what else is there for Dubai, I think one of the most important things is whilst we are talking about hospitality, the diversification of our industries is extremely big, right? So under the D33 strategy, we're hoping to become in the top 5 of the global logistics hub and the top 4 in terms of financial hub as well. So when you look at all of these expansiveness, and when you look at the number of hotels that are being built in, the infrastructure of the city, all of this actually plays a bigger role. It's a piece of the puzzle in what Dubai is aiming to be in the next 40 years.
Now, we go out to about 125,000 travel advisors in the U.S., a little bit in Canada. How are you working with them and helping to train them? And I mean, obviously, this is a big one, having Virtuoso here, but I know you have other programs that you can do to help them understand Dubai a lot better and how to sell it, right?
That's true. Yes, we do have the Dubai Expert program. It's an interactive training program, and it's designed to actually develop experts' knowledge in Dubai. And the certification certification actually provides the credibility to travel agents to actually sell the city of Dubai as well. And we do promote the Dubai Expert Program, through symposiums and virtuoso, but also through consortia, through travel agents as well. And I think up to date we have over 30,000 people who actually have certifications on the Dubai Expert Program. So there we go. With the 125,000 audience that you have, this is a definite opportunity for them to participate in the expert program.
Now, one question I just thought of, because I was thinking about this, there has been an explosion in travel and tourism in the Middle East, in the UAE, a little neighbor to your south, I guess, Saudi, and I've been to all these places. You are the first really to move this market and just build so much infrastructure. But you got some competition now, right? Up to the north of you, to the right, everything.
I think it's how you view it. We don't see it as competition. We spoke earlier about, this is a grand opportunity for people to really discover Arab hospitality, right? So if you're looking at it from a competition perspective, it means that we're just fighting ourselves. Whereas we should look at it as actually a complementing opportunity, because if you're around this area, you actually get to see so many different things. The value proposition of every single location is completely different, even within the cities themselves. So I would definitely dismiss the word competition. I would say complementary.
I would agree there, and especially you can go half hour or 45 minutes and go see Abu Dhabi. You can go, as I did, on a cruise to other UAE countries and Oman, and then I went last year to Saudi, and they're building like crazy as well. And they all, as you're right, it should be complementary. It should be a region you can come and stay for a while, right?
And you said that you had spent quite a lot of time earlier this year in Europe, right? Yeah. And so if you think about it, when you clump Europe together, you get an opportunity to actually see various different areas, various different cities, languages, even the way that we cook our food as well. F&B is such a big part of our value proposition as well. So yeah, absolutely. I think we would love for people to come and visit and really break down some of those barriers and those biases and really get the best value of their trip.
And I think we're doing it here, right, with Symposium. Now, anything else you want to tell our travel advisors about Dubai today?
I would say I mentioned food before, but listen.
Food is always important.
Food is always important. You got to eat, right? Because you got to keep up your energy. And I think some of the most biggest accolades I think that we would love to mention is that we are part of the Michelin story as well. And in the first year that we launched Michelin, we were at 69 restaurants, and now we're up by 90. And there's two homegrown restaurants, the Orfali Brothers, which is fantastic, by the way. And if you haven't tried it, you have to come back again. And then you've got the Tresson Studio as well. These two restaurants, they're homegrown out of Dubai, actually have made it to the 50 best restaurants around the globe as well.
That is amazing, and it's amazing how many Michelin stars you already have. And I would go local. I would try the food of the area, yes. Because I can get the different things. But it is amazing how culinary has really captured everybody's heart. Now, okay.
And just to add on the culture and heritage side of things as well, I think that's one aspect that we really want to make sure that whilst we are very ambitious, we are tied into the culture and the tradition of culture of the city as well as the country as well. And that's, I think, something that a lot of people look for. What is the culture of the city of Dubai? So yes, whilst it's embedded within these bigger buildings, it is also embedded in the storytelling and the experiences and the people as well. So I would say food and culture really come hand in hand together.
Well, yesterday on our tour, we went to an amazing tour of a mosque. Mm-hmm. And the guy who gave us the tour was so interesting and gave us explanation of all the different things that go on in a mosque and how he prays and everything like that. And it was, when you see this in person, and I've been in mosque before, but I've never had someone said, this is what we're doing here.
Exactly.
And it was very much, it was really amazing. And people came away saying, all right, I get it. This. Yeah. And I went up to afterwards, I said, this was something that I've seen everywhere in the world's religions, but this was great to see it here.
Fantastic. I'm actually really glad that you had that experience as well. So take that into every single experience that you might have in the city, not just from a praying perspective, but from, touring the old parts of the city, visiting a place called Dubai Frame, which I don't know if you've ever visited before as well, really gives you the perspective of how the city has grown.
I did see the frame. I saw it, I think, on the way.
You didn't go in?
No, we didn't go in. We went, we're virtuoso. We have to come back zooming and go do more interviews. But we did get a little chance to see the old city and also down with the creek. and
Yes,
all that. That
yes.
was fun. And I had been there before and did a Dow dinner
Yes.
almost 15 years ago. So it's been a lot
So
different.
even the area around the creek where, we call it the starting hub of Dubai, that in itself has also transformed. So what we've done is we aim for this area to actually be one of the largest open air museums. And so all the old houses are now being transformed into these storytelling hubs as well.
I did see that.
Yes.
Yesterday. I
Yeah.
did see that. And it's amazing. So you got to go down and visit that. Where can travel advisors go to get more information about Dubai today?
So we do have an office. We do have an office in the U.S. as well, and we will be sharing emails, which I'm sure you're going to add onto your video as well, so people can reach out directly. And we do have people on the ground here in their headquarters.
You have a website and all that.
And the website, yeah. So any information that you might need, it's visit www.visitdubai.com, and
That's
then
an easy one. Yeah.
It's a very easy one, yes. And we're also available on all major social media networks as well.
Well, thank you for taking the time. I was lucky enough to see you twice now. We just finished the Virtuoso Tech Summit. We're actually in the middle of it, and you gave a great presentation there. And the other day at the very beginning, you gave a great presentation about what's going on in Dubai today. And I think you really, you're talking to some pretty sophisticated travelers here with Virtuoso Travel. They've been all over the world, but I was surprised at how many had not yet been here, and now how many want to come back.
You know what? Can we steal that line from you? We might need it for
Absolutely.
the.
I don't have a copyright on
We
that.
might actually need it for our website, right? Because that is a true testament that, the minute you start inviting people into your home and they start understanding a little bit more about who you are and what you do and what you have to offer, it's just an opening act, for everything else that might come in the future. So thank you very much for being a part of the symposium, helping us to host you in this part of the world as well, and hopefully bring you back again soon.
Well, I'm already planning my return visit at least next year, or maybe before then.
We do have a retirement visa if you're looking to retire anytime soon.
I don't think I'm ever retiring, so that's the problem. Because you say, what are you going to do? Retire to travel?
Absolutely, yeah. And travel around Dubai, because every single day you're going to find something new to do here. So why not?
Absolutely. Well, that's what I'm going to try to do. Meanwhile, I'm going to try to find some things to do here at Atlantis the Royal for my time here. I'm going to go back to another property I saw earlier, and there's a whole lot more I want to do. So I'll be back. And I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.